guys, it's Chief here from Chief Live Gaming. Today I'm going to show you a step-by-step video of how to make a Nurgle Helbrute conversion, or any kind of Helbrute really that you would like to make. And this is the Helbrute out of the Dark Vengeance set. So if you want, you can get the Dark Vengeance set and use the Helbrute out of there, or you can get just the Helbrute itself on eBay for very, very reasonable. And what I wanted to show you just in this stage, of course, you're going to want to trim, you know, the mold lines and the flashing and just a little extra plastic off of all the pieces before you glue it together. But they have these like pegs and like things to help you line up the two halves of the body. So there's like these posts that are sticking out from one side that are designed to go in like these kind of posts here on the other side to help you line it up. What I do is I trim those off, and what you can do is you're gonna have two of these chunks, roughly about, depending on how far down in there you can get to trim it, about this big. And a really good thing to do with those is to put them, see if I can do this one-handed. You kind of put them lined up with the barrel of the multi-melta, one on top, one on bottom, and you can extend the length of the barrel for the multi-melta to make it a more convincing proxy for like a twin-linked las cannon. A lot of people like to field them with twin-linked las, so that would be a really easy way to do that. Alternatively, you can just use, like, you know, a dowel or something that you can buy at any hobby store or hardware store to cut a length of whatever you want to make an extended barrel. So what I'm going to do is put them together. I'm going to come back to you guys, show you what it looks like put together, and then I'm just going to briefly touch on some green stuff if you'd want to add green stuff work, what I do for Nurgling. I call it Nurgling. And then I will show you the next steps. All right, guys, so here's a couple that I'm working on assembling. I just wanted to show you real quick the barrel extension. So here's what you're going for, roughly. Get them as straight as you can, and whether or not you're using the dowels like I was talking about, or the pieces of plastic that you cut out from the middle, the technique's the same. And if it's not perfectly straight, like you can see, this bottom one's really not great. We're gonna fix it later with green stuff, so don't worry about it too much. So what I did, as you're putting it together, do this with some toothpicks or paper clips or whatever you have, glue them in there like that before you put the other half of the multi-melta on, and then that'll give you a way to, people call it pinning, to reinforce the dowels or pieces of plastic, so you're not just gluing the tips on and then they can get knocked off easy. So what I'm going to do is do some green stuff work now and come back to you guys and show you what it looks like after I've done some green stuff modification. And if you guys don't want to use actual green stuff, you can buy off-brand. Just Google green stuff alternatives, and there are many, many options. You don't have to pay the premium price for actual green stuff. So I'm going to do that, and I'll come back and show you guys what that looks like. All right, see you in a second. All right, guys, so real quick, I wanted to show you some basic work for doing Nurgle effects with green stuff. So what I use for my main tool is a pick like this, just to work the green stuff. You could use anything with a point, pen or something, anything you have really. And the other thing I use is a pen cap. And I have a couple different sizes of, basically you just want something with a hole on the end that you can use to do something like this. You come to the green stuff, push down, kind of work it around. If it sticks like this, I want to show you, that's bad. So what you want to do is clear it out, come over here, dip it in some water, get some of the water off, and then come back and do the same thing again. So if you wet your tool, see how it didn't stick that time? And you basically just want to make different circle indents. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, sorry. Something like that, just around. And then you're going to come over with your pick tool and work around the circles that you've made and make some different effects. And what I'm going to do is do that and then come back and show you what it looks like. So this is the very basic idea of what you can do. As you can see, created just a couple raised like pustule or I don't know, growth areas, surrounded by just some pockmarked, nasty overgrowth looking stuff. And these pustules are not very tall, as you notice, and that's because I put on a very thin layer of green stuff. So if you want them to be much more pronounced and taller, like this is kind of a medium-sized one, but if you wanted to be bigger than that, you just put down a thicker layer of green stuff. And then, you know, you would just work the edges out to try to make it look more organic, like it's growing into whatever surface that you are working on. And when you paint it, it will really blend in and look nice. And we'll also pick out these raised areas to, you know, accent them more, because they kind of blend in right now. So what I'm going to do is do the rest of the model, and you can go as far as you want with this. You know, you can just do a couple areas, or you could do most of the model. And what you want to do is let it dry. I usually let it dry at least overnight. Ideally, I think 24 hours before you prime it, and then you can just paint it. So we'll let it sit, and I'll show you guys what it looks like primed, and I'll just give you a quick example of painting it. Alright guys, so I've primed the Helbrute, and then I just went around and hit the Nurgle green stuff areas with some green paint, but I wanted to talk to you for a second about primer color. I choose this tan color, and why I do that is because it saves me the step of base coating the skin area of the actual Helbrute, and that can be really, really helpful. I see a lot of people that they just prime in black or white, and then you have to, you know, there's the extra step of base coating the skin color on your Helbrute. But this way, you can just wash and highlight or dry brush over this primer, and you'll get a nice effect, and it saves you a lot of time. Now, it's not going to look as good as if you painted it, you know, normally, but it can save you some time. And what I did is I just very quickly did something like that with this Helbrute. It was the same color underneath, and as you can see, I'm bringing them over in the light a little bit better. This is very early stages of the paint job. This is actually only about probably 45 minutes to an hour of paint into this guy. So you can really, really get some work done quickly. And the way I got this green kind of effect here is with a couple different colors. Now, I use army paint or war paints for a lot of my paints, and this is the quick shade dark tone, which is just a wash, like a black wash, and then, or ink, and then there's a green tone also that they make, and I used these two colors in that order. So I went dark tone, then green tone over the primer, and that's what I came up with. So again, you go from something like this to something like that on the skin. Bring them over in the light. Very easily, very quickly. So again, just something to consider. And if you guys don't have that green tone or don't want to buy it, you can thin out just a green paint that you have, thin it out really far with water, and you can make your own wash. You don't have to buy it. But I'm lazy, so I buy it. All right, so that's all I think I wanted to show you guys. You can paint the rest of the model however you'd like. And I'm just going to, what I'm going to do now is post up a couple pictures that I have of some finished ones that I've made in the past. And I also just want to note that if you guys are interested in supporting me at all and getting something in return, I do have an eBay store and an Etsy store. So from time to time, I do like to sell these Helbrutes. And if you are interested in buying one, I'll provide a link to my eBay store in the description of the video, and you can see if there's one currently available. So that's a nice way if you guys are interested in supporting me and or you know, like my work. So there it is. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching the tutorial. Let me know if you guys do your own Helbrutes. I'd love to see pictures. Send me pictures, because I'm really interested to see what kind of stuff you guys come up with. So thanks a lot, and I will see you in the next video.